This one says, hey, we want a vertex at 2, -5, and it has to go through the point a -10. Guess and test is a way that you could do this, but I shudder to think how long it would take to find a corresponding a value for this. So here's what we're going to do, all right? As we see in my vertex, which was given as 2, -5, we have an h and we have a k value. Okay, well that's hopefully that's simple enough. Instead of an h, I now have a value of 2, and instead of a k, I've got a value of -5. So I'm going to make that -5 there. So the rest of this, again, it's pretty static. What I'm missing then is my a value, right? So I've got my f of x. I'm going to show it as y. Hope that's okay. Now this is not what we want. It's a good start, but you can't say, well, this is your equation, you just don't have an a. No, we got to figure out what that a is, because we want this written in vertex form for the function. And this is where that other ordered pair comes from. This is where this other ordered pair comes in for us, is we have an x and we have a y value. As it turns out, in the equation that we just wrote, we have an x value and we have a y value. So I'm going to go in and replace those, the x with the x value that it gave us in the ordered pair, which was 8, and the y value that corresponds with it in that ordered pair, which was -10. This right here becomes an equation to solve for a. You see, we're only left with one variable. That's great, because I can solve for that variable. So right here, if I was to do this, I'd probably use a calculator, but we're going to have to use some principles of equality too. So right here, I'd say, well, 8 minus 2 is -6. Well, that would be squared. Right, so -6 times -6 is 36. I'm going to rewrite that as 36a, just so it kind of looks familiar. Then I'd say -5, and this all equals -10. And you can see now that this is just kind of a regular equation to solve. So I will.
-6.
Yeah, agreed. It wouldn't be -6, it'd be +6. The good news for me, even though I made that mistake, is that it still comes out as 36. Thank goodness. In any case, I got to solve this, right? So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So I now have -5 equals 36 a's, because we zeroed out that -5. And then the last thing we're going to do to solve for the a is we're going to divide both sides by 36. Now I'm going to keep that as a fraction, -5/36. I don't even know what the decimal would be, but I also assume it to be pretty ugly. So I got my phantom 1a equals -5/36. So I'm going to go back to my equation, right? My vertex format, which we just found the a. We already had the h and k. Yeah, this is it. We just found the a value, so I'm just going to replace the a with -5/36. That's a little better, I guess. Yeah, this is what we were going for the whole time. Now, the good news is since we've put this into a table on the calculator, you could say, well, I'm just going to put this into the calculator. And if you said, I'm going to start with an x that's 8 on the calculator for your, what was it called again? The start. If you started at 8, it would start by showing you 8 -10 as an ordered pair. It works in this function because 8 -10 needs to make this equation true, right? It's a point on the line. All points on the line will make the equation true.